You know, there's a new gold rush happening right now. But this time, the prize isn't some shiny metal dug out of the ground. It's algorithmic superiority. We're about to dive into this massive economic and strategic shift in military technology, one that's literally rewriting the rules of global power. To really get a handle on the sheer scale of this, you only need to hear one number: $101 billion. That's what the military AI market is projected to be worth by 2034. So yeah, this isn't some sci-fi experiment anymore. This is a full-blown, rapidly expanding industry. And just look at this growth curve. I mean, we're talking about a leap from around 22 billion in 2026 to over 100 billion in less than a decade. That's a growth rate of over 20% every single year. This kind of explosive spending is exactly why so many people are asking that one big question. Are we watching a new kind of arms race unfold? And this quote from Vladimir Putin, all the way back in 2017, it just perfectly captures the thinking that's driving all this money. It's a real winner-take-all mentality, where being number one in AI is seen as the ticket to global dominance. So, who are the main players in this high-stakes game? Let's take a closer look at the nations that are pouring billions into getting that crucial AI edge. Right now, it's not even a contest. North America is dominating the market, holding a staggering 40% share. And let's be real, that's almost entirely driven by one country, the United States. Its massive defense budget and huge network of tech companies make it ground zero for AI in the global defense world. And the US is clearly all in. The Department of Defense has more than 685 active AI projects going on right now. The Pentagon asked for $1.8 billion just for AI in its 2025 budget. And you have these landmark projects like Maven, which uses machine learning to sift through intelligence data, and JDC2, this huge effort to connect literally every sensor to every shooter that are pushing AI from the lab right onto the front lines. But the US has a major competitor breathing down its neck. China's military AI spending is what people call a black box. It's super opaque and tough to track. But a lot of analysts are convinced the People's Liberation Army is investing so heavily that its spending could easily match or maybe even blow past what the United States is doing. And to really put this competition into perspective, just look at the gap in overall military research and development. The United States spends 130 billion euros every year. The entire European Union, just 14.4 billion. That's almost a tenfold difference. It just shows you the insane scale of investment the top players are bringing to the table. Okay, so we know who's writing the checks, but where is all that cash actually going? In this next part, we're going to follow the money trail to see which companies, both old and new, are cashing in on this military AI gold rush. What's really fascinating is that the market is kind of split between two very different types of players. On one side, you have the old guard, the legacy giants. You know, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. They're the masters of hardware and massive platforms. But on the other side, you've got this new wave of what you could call tech insurgents. Companies like Palantir, Endural, and even Google, who are shaking things up by focusing on what they do best: software, data, and autonomy. And this marks a complete reversal of how things used to work. For decades, military innovation flowed to the civilian world. I mean, think about GPS or the internet. Well, today, that pipeline is totally flipped. The most cutting-edge AI models and cloud computing are now born in the commercial world and then get adapted for military use. This is a huge deal. It means militaries are now relying on private companies for their most critical tech. This big shift from hardware to software isn't just some business trend. It's fundamentally changing what it even means to be a military superpower. It's pulling us into what you might call a code war. So here's the absolute key takeaway. The center of gravity in defense is on the move. It's no longer just about who has the fastest fighter jets or the biggest aircraft carrier. More and more, it's about who has the smartest algorithms, the cleanest data, and the quickest decision-making routes. Software is, for all intents and purposes, the new steel. Which, of course, brings us right back to that big central question. With all this money flying around and all the strategic posturing, are we actually in a new global AI arms race? Well, the answer isn't as simple as you'd think. On one side, you have plenty of experts arguing that yes, a global AI arms race is absolutely gathering speed, especially with all the geopolitical tension in the world. But on the other side, if you look closer at the numbers, some analysts point out that dedicated AI spending is still less than 1% of total defense budgets. As one of them put it, that's not an arms race, that's not even a priority. This debate leads us to our final, and maybe our most important question. If we look beyond the money and the politics, what's the ultimate impact of this whole AI revolution on the role of human beings in conflict? First off, it's really important to get the AI's impact goes way beyond the battlefield. The Pentagon is the world's largest employer. It provides healthcare to over 9 million people and runs a massive global supply chain. AI is being put to work to make all those back-office jobs run better, from predicting when a vehicle needs maintenance to managing ridiculously complex purchasing systems. And when it comes to the actual fighting, the main approach everyone's talking about today is called human in the loop. Basically, it means that even though an AI system can analyze data, spot targets, and suggest what to do at lightning speed, a human being still has to be the one to make that final, critical, life or death call. It's our current ethical safety net to prevent fully autonomous weapons. But that leads us to the final, really challenging question. As AI gets faster and faster, shrinking decision times from minutes to seconds to even milliseconds, can humans actually keep up? In a world where machines can think and react faster than we can, what does it even mean to stay in the loop?